What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 32 of my Total Warhammer 3 Kairos Fateweaver Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Kairos continues to take the territories of both Khemri and the followers of Nagash, last time destroying the Mad King Araru, who decided to siege him despite having absolutely no chance in succeeding at any kind of attack. Now, Kairos, I think, is the only lord or anybody, agent, lord, or anything that can still move this turn, and I do think we should probably give a quick attack to Xandry, mostly because, well, I really hate to have Kairos just sit here and heal, even though the healing takes ages, but, you know, what can you do? I think Vindex is going to just stay here and ambush, and we're going to hope that King Rotik moves out here, though I doubt that he will, and I doubt it because he can't actually reach the Springs of Eternal Life, so at best, what could happen is he might move here, but most likely is he'll go here and then start raiding, and then we'll have to attack him. But I suppose we'll see. I've been wrong many a time before. Anyway, let's give a quick battle with Kairos here, and I think we'll just do this, yeah, we'll just do this manually. This is garbage, and I want to preserve units, so I think in that light, we're probably best off just having Kairos go in and kill everybody by himself. So let's just do that real quick. I would auto-resolve it, but at this point his army, not he himself, is so badly beat up that there really isn't a good idea. It isn't a good idea to do so with taking damage. And also all the units in here are very much susceptible to what Kairos can do, so it's not like there's a bunch of, I don't know, Ushabti. Ushabti are probably one of the more annoying units for Kairos to deal with. Yeah, he can slowly kill them with the blue fire spam, but takes quite a while to do it that way. Anyway, start deployment. We are going to move everybody here where they're not really under threat by the towers. We'll just blob up around here somewhere. I don't think those towers will be able to reach us, but you know what? Let's just in case put everybody at a distance. I do think they have Tomb Swarm, so we do have to be careful with that, and they will probably spawn their own Ushabti on top of us, but we do have barriers to deal with the Tomb Swarm as well, so it shouldn't be that much of a concern. Anyway, like so, you two here may actually get some additional casts from you, although you only have blue fire. I should have probably leveled you up, could have gotten your pink fire as well. Anyway, start battle, Kairos, move in. Let us begin with having you... I was about to say regrow, but there really isn't any need to do that either. Alright, let's start with this. And you know, let's play it at, let's say, oh, not at half speed, but whatever speed this is. And let's begin like so. There we go, alrighty, and we'll go for blue fire spam as well. I mean, we have have a lot of enemies to kill. And, okay, they're not grouping up very nicely, which I'm not very happy with. Okay, let's just do this. Otherwise, it's a waste. Ah, there we go. Still did about half damage to that unit. Cover these skeleton archers next. And, did you just switch the targeting? Okay, well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that did nothing. That really did nothing. Ooh, these two units are together, therefore we're gonna overcast like so. There we go. That unit is nearly dead because of it. And we might as well get the Arcane Surge on Kairos. And hello. Some of our units are taking damage over here, losing their barrier, but yeah, that makes sense because of the... it's not the towers attacking them, yeah, no. It's just Tomb Swarms. It's okay, they're not gonna do that much damage. And do we want to use an... yeah, why not? Otherwise it's gonna take too long. There we go. Use the Vortex spell. And there we are, and another pink fire through, let's say, this unit's at full HP. Also, Kairos' barrier hasn't even been broken. Ah, they're not moving in a way that I like. Alright, let's do that then. There we go, those two units are nearly dead. Kairos should actually be able to land on the chariots at some point. We could also even, wait, actually, I have an idea. Land on these chariots right now. See if the enemy comes to attack you. I'm hoping that they will. We can always heal ourselves. Though we do have to be careful because obviously once the enemy comes around... Okay, they're not going to react to this at all. They're just going to keep shooting Kairos, which is, I guess, kind of annoying, but what can you do? What I was hoping was all the infantry would attack us, we'll just Shield of Thorns ourselves, which I guess we're going to do right now anyway. What's the duration here? It's only 23 seconds, not that long. Still something. And let's get another pink fire through. Ooh, can we reach those units? No. Can we reach these units like this? Looks like we can. We have 70 power reserve, so plenty enough. This unit's gonna move away, but we'll keep going. There we go. Keep adding extra spell work. And how long do we have of that Shield of Thorns? Probably not much longer. Well, let's be careful here. Ooh. You know what? Let's drop this on top of ourselves. It's not going to do too much damage, and we can always regrow ourselves as well. Alright. And the battle should be about over soon. Ooh, yes, these units moving together now. Hit them both. Very, very nice. And enemy army has spawned a unit. That's the Ushabti coming in. And aerial units and knights. Go kill those Ushabti. Flamers, be careful. Knights good, and everybody else is fine. Kairos, you have finally taken a little bit of damage, but it's probably not going to be enough from the enemy anyway. And we're just about done here. And you know what I should have done? I should have used your Forbidden Rod while we were at it, even though it's going to hurt you slightly. Alrighty, who's still alive? There's a unit of skeleton spears here. I know that this is stupid, but you know, if Kairos is capable of this, so why not? And alright, one more pink fire through, let's say the... they just turned around, there we go, like so. There we go, and that unit's still not melting, but let's just kill the rest of these guys as quickly as we can. Maybe launch a blue fire at some of these chariots. They're not actually getting all that hurt. And maybe we should start on the regrowth shortly. There we go, regrow now. You know what? I think maybe we can bring the flyers in now. They're not... Oh, you're moving back on top of the walls, eh? Can't say I like that very much. And hello, more enemies moving around, good. And as soon as this other unit arrives, we'll overcast it and both of them should die. And there we go, and no, they're not dead, but it's close to it. Alright, where are our flyers? You guys come on in. If they're not gonna go for the towers, we might as well move in as well. And there we go, now they're all melting. Okay, now we can just speed it up to max and the battle's over. Beautiful. Well done, Kairos. And okay, for a second I thought there was another unit that was going to stick around until Kairos went to damage them, but that's fine. At least this way we preserved units, and, well, I think one of our units might have died. Actually, no, 0 losses. I saw one of the Chaos Warriors got hurt, but it looks like it wasn't enough to be concerning to us, which is always lovely. 682 kills on Kairos, so about half of their army destroyed a little more, and then they all melted. And he's at full HP afterwards because of the regrowth. Wonderful. Alrighty, and we're gonna occupy the place. This should make the province complete. I don't really care about the Pigeon Plucker pendant. Let's get to you. That Egram's contrivance algorithm, and this is why I wanted to preserve those units so much. This army here, King and Jocht, if they act just as insane and... Oh, I just realized that they could reach the Pools of Despair. Huh. Well, then we'll just go in and kill them. It's not like we really care about these territories anyway. I'm almost tempted to stop this, but... What if they don't go for this? And what if they can't actually reach this? Because this is March stance. I'm willing to bet that they can reach Xandry, but there's no guarantee that they can reach Pools of Despair, because the road doesn't go directly here in the same way that it does to Xandry. Also, Nehekarans really like these winding roads, don't they? How about a relatively straight road? I'm just kidding. Actually, this one's pretty okay. Anyway, and this one's pretty okay too. I think that's all we can do this turn, so I guess we're gonna go next turn. Gorgazan, and I know that we were gonna transfer this, but we may still. On the other hand, we may not. Who knows? No, actually, this is probably something for Thorak to attack. You know what? Let's build something here, just because if Thorak attacks it, then it'll be an annoyance, because we'll have to take 2 provinces rather than 1. Otherwise, I do believe that's the end of this turn. We're going to skip the rest of this. We're going to end it, and we're going to see if the ambush does anything for us, and let's find out. Alrighty, looks like Scarby's destroyed Valea's Sorrow but not taken the territory. Yeah, I have a sinking feeling that the only way we're going to be able to power up Scarbrand is to give him territories directly. And Really, Mulder? You've ended your non-aggression pact with us. Aren't we fighting, like, all the same factions that you're fighting? You'd think that they'd like us more for that, but apparently strategic threat isn't something they're super fond of. It's a little bit annoying. I wanted some Skaven units for us, but no, well, what can you do? And Vladdy's gonna declare war on us. Okay, buddy. He's too far away for this to be a concern, so it's kind of irrelevant. Still don't really understand why AI factions do that. Like, what's the point of declaring a war on a faction super far away from you if you're not going to help, you can't take any territory from them, and we're probably the #1 faction, or if not, we're probably pretty up there. #2 faction, close enough. Wow, actually, who the heck is stronger than us? Grimgor, oh my. Grimgor stronger? Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Considering we'll probably be fighting Grimgor, that's very interesting. Huh. I wasn't expecting that, I gotta say. Though his settlements, he only has 26 settlements, well, quote-unquote, only. Wa succeeds, Nurgle be Ascendant, and it's our turn once more. Alrighty, so let's begin with some auto-resolves. Bitterstone Mine, you can go there and probably get a little bit hurt auto-resolving it, but this one I'm not willing to fight again. Auto-resolve? Wasn't too bad. Alrighty, occupy. It's not like we have Kairos here to make this quick. Oh, Ekrond. Let's buff you up while we're at it. And we don't need either of these military buildings, but we do want a lattice here or a thaumaturgic load instead. We also want to do this. Winds of Magic Manipulation. And I think that was the only one. Okay, just a little bit of manipulation. Also, Scarby, you now have nothing. Now, we could try to tell you to attack Carrick 8 Peaks. We could try to tell you to... I mean, your army's still pretty much full HP. You could very well try to siege it, but I feel like you'd lose and then your army would be done. But is that such a bad thing? That's another question, I suppose. Is this their only settlement? It is. It is their only settlement. This would give the... I'm just thinking, this would give Karazakarak the opportunity to take Carrick 8 Peaks. Is that such a good thing? Do we care about Carrick 8 Peaks? That's the real question here. As in, do we want to hold it? Do we want to bother with it? Valea Soro at least is a green territory. So it would be half and half. Black Crag is worth taking because Carrick Draw and Iron Rock are all Grimoire generators. But then these territories here, well, I guess there's Salt and Iron here. But then these territories here... Well, actually, Carrick Asgal has gems, although I don't think we particularly care about gems. What we don't care about is Crooked Fang, Fort, Dringo Karaz, and Spite Peak, that's for sure. I want these to go to Scarby. You know what, we gotta tell Scarby to go somewhere, or else he'll go after Thorik, and I can't have that right now. I still want to keep farming those defeat traits. Let's try to tell him to occupy... I don't know, we could send him up here to attack Barak Var, but I feel like that's so far he's not gonna do it. Try to tell him to go after Carrick 8 Peaks. If he loses, he'll rebuild, I'm sure. Though, the dwarves will probably steal some of his territory if he does, because they will inevitably declare war on us. Now, Kairos, you're healing up nicely. Looks like nobody's attacked the Pools of Despair, so you can freely attack Al-Haik when you're ready, which will be whenever we damn well feel like it. I know, Arcan's back. Yeah, okay. Well, this one will be worth actually fighting, whether cinematically or not, depends on if we can find a better battle to fight this episode. Now, we did just fight a short one, so I do think there should be some admin to do, and oh, what happened here? Oh. Now this is interesting. They moved in the second army. Huh, kinda wasn't expecting that, actually. You moved to Numas Iber. I still think we're probably going to attack with these guys either way. Close victory, but fortunately the casualties are low. It's about half our army. I wouldn't quite call that low, but okay. Occupy. And a Potion of Toughness and a Tzeentch Familiar, though we don't really care about that. And also, Hemery. Oh, right. I really want to delete a bunch of these things, but we can't do it right now. Let's go for... Oh. You're nearly maxed out on growth to switch out to the Dimensional Cascade. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I was gonna upgrade this, but now I feel like perhaps we don't want to. Let's go for, well, walls here first. Walls here first. Yeah, that's interesting, because we still need to delete this, and... I'm still not sure whether we want to keep both of these. We still want the lattice and the other thing, but... If we switch to Cascade, it'll cost 13,000 gold, eh? You know, I'll think about that. Or Favor. Favor. We still use Favor, right? Yeah. Like the other demon factions. Vindex, we're gonna have you fight shortly. Fire, you probably also have fights of Voljax. You're in the same situation. Let's move the heroes around. Adamentus, you are moving north to figure out what the heck is going on out there. Corvum, you are going out here to find the little, according to the comments, faction that is holding the Gashazar. And I'm surprised it hasn't been taken out by the dwarfs as yet. They are completely surrounding it, but completely ignoring it. I do have to wonder if the AI has been programmed to, or if it has just such an insane defense of that it isn't going to get attacked. Alrighty, let's spend some cash and then we'll do a cinematic fight between these two blobs of units. That should be a pretty fun one. Alright, start with the cheap places. Gorgazan, you are not able to get walls, so let's start with the Thaumaturgic Load. Southern Badlands, Galbaraz, you're definitely going to need those walls. And you might as well upgrade that Thaumaturgic Reef as well as money. Next up, Great Mortis Delta. We can ignore you for now, mostly because you're right in the middle of our territory and nothing's gonna change. Khemri, we're ignoring you because we probably want to upgrade Khemri to max. Land of the Dervishes. And get that Weave of Time, looking good. Cracked Land. You are not Dimensional Cascade, so therefore it would be pointless to do anything with you right now. At least with regards to military buildings. More money, buildings everywhere else, though. Good. This looks good to me. Western jungles, aha, more money. Lovely. Shifting Sands. Oh, wow. We have a surprising amount of money still buildable everywhere. Now, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, that's it for the infrastructure at Kasabar, which means we are free to switch you to a Dimensional Cascade, though at the 13.6k cost, we may want to look through the other stuff first and then deal with you afterwards. Let's get the Demonic Gathering, though. And, yeah, Quetzalcoatl, money, and we definitely still want the walls here. Once again, for those wondering, I just like to build walls everywhere in the... everywhere in main settlements, mostly because the Tzeentch garrison are pretty trash, and frankly, I don't want to lose a super highly investment territory like that. And just because some random enemy army spawns on top of us somewhere. Lost Plateau can upgrade you. It's cheap enough. I was about to say, wait for Dimensional Cascade, that's not a big deal. And we got another one of these. You're just getting these iridescent horrors up and running everywhere. How much does this cost? Well, we have a Cascade here, so why not? And that looks good to me, minus military buildings. Looks good, looks good. You know, I think the only thing that we're missing is that none of our territories, unless I'm mistaken, have the tier 3 of the burning thing, of the immolators, of these things. Yeah, there's one being upgraded here. I'm tempted to upgrade one at the Black Pyramid. Wait, not the Black Pyramid. At Khemri. So you two are going to become infrastructure. You're going to get deleted and replaced with the other thing. The cultist thing. You're going to stay as you are, and we could just leave you here. This will, of course, mean that we don't have the ability to build... Oh, actually, you're going to get replaced as well. Nah, but you're going to get replaced with a gold mine. This will mean that Khemri wouldn't be able to produce Doom Knights and the Soul Grinders and the like. It would be nice to have this somewhere. We could have somewhere nearby be able to produce Doom Knights, like the Black Tower of Arcan or something else. Seems like a decent way to do it. Yeah, alright, fine. We'll upgrade you. Even though you don't have a Dimensional Cascade, so it's going to be expensive. And just so that you're far enough out here to get us those Exalted Flamers when we need them. Alrighty, Vindex, it's time. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. I got confused with another army. Voljax, you are going to come in as a reinforcement. And do we want to do anything with regards to you? That's Kronos. You know, I just realized this. Kronos, you don't need stuff. You don't actually exist. Although we should check him out at some point. Yeah, let's take his stuff for now. That was the former leader of our little allied faction. Oh, look, a couple trickster shards. Fuse those into another staff of change. Did we just get 2 staffs of change? I actually don't know whether these are good. They cause explosions on enemies just one time. Powerful explosion centered on enemies. Yuna's not a lord here. I'd actually be curious if this is actually decent or not. You know what we'll do? We'll give a staff of change to both of these guys. Just for fun. And we'll see how effective it is. And there we go. And then, yeah, we're gonna prepare for this because they have technically better armies than we do. Glittering Scales, you can keep Torment Blade, Shield of Talos. We should probably get you a Talisman or an Arcane item. No Power Stone. Oh, we have a couple of Obsidian Trinkets we can turn into something else. We'll do it later. Pigeon Plucker Pendants, Iron Curse Icons, which are okay. You can keep the Rock of Inevitability as it's a decent debuff. Huh, are there really no talismans? We can get the anti-magic talisman, but we're probably not going to get hit with any magic. Okay, well, I guess there's not much. Yeah, well, once again, like I was saying before, we don't have much in the way of... items that we can use. Lichbone Pennant, not necessary here. Banner of Eternal Flame. Does that really help us here? Actually, wait. Kairos could use this. Kairos has Kindle Flame, does he not? So this would power up his entire army, unless I'm mistaken. At least everybody that does fire damage. Not the Chaos Warriors, but those will get changed out later. We'll certainly power up all the Flamers. Yeah, you know what? It's just so I don't forget. Let's lose the... I guess the Ancient Zealot. And replace it with the Banner of Eternal Flame. Nice. And I do have to wonder whether it would be beneficial to give Kairos the... give Kairos a Lichbone Pennant. He may get hit with some magics, though we'd have to lose the Mythomaniac. You know, I'll think about that. Not that I find anything too threatening to Kairos. Alrighty, well, I think that's enough preparation, or at least it's as much as we're gonna do right now. Let's fight King Menkaeus, and King Erotic here. There we go. And Wailing Banner. Let's put that on... Wait, do you guys cause terror? You have Demonic, you cause fear. But every demon unit causes fear. Let's get to cause terror on one of you. Alrighty. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Valiant Defeat. Well, that's not surprising considering this army is made of trash and they have... Well, they have some decent stuff in here, especially the reinforcing second army. Alright, well, let's see if we can take in cinematically. Alrighty there, Vindex, at least you're having fun, though I do imagine a decent amount of your army will not be, at least shortly. This should be a pretty darn interesting battle. Obviously, Blue Horrors versus Tomb Guard is a pretty terrible matchup. A, most of them will be shielded Tomb Guard, and B, they have both armor and melee attack and defense to be able to rip those guys apart fairly easily while not taking too much damage due to the lack of armor piercing. So yeah. This will be very, very interesting. We're going to try to move forward and try to get a little bit of our flamers to work on some of the enemy forces before the reinforcements arrive here. Obviously also going to hover overhead with Vindex and drop the occasional pink fires on the enemies as much as we can. We're going to use our regular attacks on the Lord. I was thinking about using blue fires on the enemy Lord, which might work in this situation, but I figured considering we don't have a lot of ways to deal with the Tomb Guard, we're probably best off actually just saving the mana and letting the Lords die the old-fashioned way. Anyway, our Flamers are moving up. They're going to target any enemy skeletons that they can reach. If the enemy keeps blobbing up like that, that would be swell. And there we go, the other Flamer unit moving in as well. Obviously, we're going to get a few attacks in reprisal from the enemy ranged units. But it seems like at least a few of them are going after our disc guy as he runs around, or flies around, rather. Here we go, another shot from those Flamers. Yeah, this is how we have to win it, because, well, we can't trust the blue horrors. Though on the bright side, no real amount of, deaths from our blue horrors are gonna matter, because obviously all these guys are gonna get replaced. They were here temporarily, just to hold the ground and defend if we're needed. Now, obviously, this first army is the much smaller army A and was in march stance, whereas the second army is the much more elite and the not drained armies. So, while we do dish out a little bit of damage here, it's not going to make too much of a difference. The main difference is going to come in from the second army. Blue Horror is going to get a few shots off onto the enemy lord here. He tried to chase after our flamers there. Flamers aren't going to do too much damage to him, but it does look real nice, so at least there's that. And just gotta keep away from him. Good use by the AI of the chariots though, because while every single second that the flamers aren't attacking their infantry is a second that's good for the enemy. Alrighty, and our second unit has arrived, our second herald, our metal herald, Voljax, and we do have our second army moving in, so 2 more flamers to add to the fray, the screamers to hopefully silence their artillery, as well as to potentially fight chariots, or to fight any cav that the enemy has running, or even enemy lords, as the screamers are anti-large, of course. Plus the pink and iridescent horrors, who will be our main elite troops. They are going to be hiding behind the blue horrors, presumably until the blue horrors all get kind of wrecked. And then they'll be joining the fray afterwards, though obviously as much ranged attacks as they're possible. A couple nice hits on the enemy lord, and it looks like the enemy is going to start slowly moving forward, though it does seem that both our army and their army are going to start arranging troops. Unlike usual, I sent out a semi-skirmisher force with 6 units of blue horrors out in front of the rest of the army, with another sort of arc of blue horrors protecting our pink and exalted pink horrors. And the purpose for these 6 blue horrors here are mostly to protect the flamers as they continue to dish out damage to any isolated and slow-moving enemy units of skeletons. They're also, however, going to get shot up by the enemy range, so we don't have too many shots here before we have to get the heck out. There we go. Keep killing those skellies and then get ready to run. There we go. Back it up, and not in a good way, but you are going to still continue. There we go. Work with those blue horrors, dish out some damage, then when the enemy is engaged, move away, run away, and then come back to flame another day. I kind of like the setup, the fact that it isn't just straight up regular battle lines, but a little bit more distributed here, which is nice. And there we go, looks like a lot of our blue horrors are engaged. The enemy chariots are hitting them in the side, and lots of chariots everywhere. The first of our blue horrors are done getting hit and kind of wrecked by these Nehekara horsemen, who have actually now moved through them and are going to attack our isolated units of flamers. And in fact, their charge against this flamer unit has almost caused them to waver. Well, they're already wavering. Has almost caused them to rout already and taken half HP. Huh. That's deceptive. I mean, damn good job to the Nehekaran horsemen here. And dishing out crazy damage, and in fact, the flamers are basically done just like that. Alrighty, well, good job to the AI. Fortunately, our other units should be able to get away, especially as we moved in our disc-riding herald or heralds, I should say, to distract the Nehekara horsemen. But damn, they killed those flamers fast. Gotta really be careful with those units, as they are just so fragile. Oh well, we got more units where that came from, and still 3 flamers, and hopefully we can hold the ground as they continue to do damage. The rest of our forces also moved up, so now the pink horrors are engaged together with the blue, but the main enemy force is in here as well. Our screamers have also dropped down on the enemy screaming skull catapults. We can outscream their screaming, I would like to hope. And then we can proceed to start attacking the enemy archers afterwards. Alrighty, blue and pink horrors and flamers, let's see if you can win this. I do imagine it'll be close, as we can see our melee line is being quite overwhelmed. Ushabti come up due to the Realm of Death, but we've also got our own bombardments coming down, the bound Firestorm of Tzeentch going into the biggest blob of enemies that we could find, as well as a Searing Doom in the background hitting another blob. There we go, in addition to all the fires from the flamers, as well as damage from the pink and blue horrors as well. Alrighty, and it looks like we're starting to run out of blue horrors at this point. We do still have a few guarding the flanks, but most of them are either done or are in the throes of banishment, although it looks like a couple do remain on this side. And hey, the Screamers have caught a Skeleton Chariot unit. We'll probably be going after that Lord afterwards. Good job, Screamers. Screamers are doing a lot of work here. It's all Screamers and Flamers, really. And obviously our Heralds dishing out a lot of magical damage due to their Searing Dooms and their Pink Fires of Tzeentch. Alrighty, hold on, blue horrors, just hold on. Sacrifice yourselves so that we can burninate more enemies. And there we go, another shot into some units of Tomb Guard. And it looks like this unit is very badly beat up now. In fact, one of them is just about done. And here come more hits. Oh, yeah, all three Flamers here dishing out quite a lot of damage. If only we still had our fourth, but it's okay. And there we go, we got some Tomb Guard chasing down some pink horrors, though we are still holding, well, perhaps not strong, but at the very least still holding. The balance of power is in fact now in our favor, and the enemy have lost more than half of their troops, but then again, so have we. Our troop count is actually about even, and so were the starting troop counts. I hadn't realized that. That's pretty interesting. Though, of course, their high troop count comes from a lot more elite units than our high troop count from our blue horrors, which is where most of our army's troop count is from, because they have 160 units compared to the 100 of the pink horrors. Or actually 80. Yeah, it's 80 on the exalted pink horrors and 80 on the regular pink horrors. Yeah, so twice as many on the blue horror units. Alrighty, now we got a Doom Bolt of Tzeentch, or a Bolt of Change rather, coming down in the background. Our Screamers working to tie up those chariots continuously, while our Flamers continue working on any infantry that they can find. Magic still coming down, lots and lots of bombardments and pink fires in this particular battle, certainly working. It looks like the enemy Lord has finally been brought down by the Screamers, and with the death of the enemy Lord, it looks like the entire army is done. Ooh, a really fun battle. That was great. I think most of our blue horrors died, but that's okay. Definitely a Pyrrhic victory, but as long as most of our elites survived, I'm not going to be too concerned with it. Plus, we got a lot of enjoying the Flamers burninate things. Though I didn't see nearly as many shots coming in from the pink horrors. I'd be curious to see how much damage they dealt at the end of this. Well, let's find out. Alright, that was a really fun battle. I very much enjoyed that one. Definitely one of the great things about using primarily garbage units. Obviously, Tomb Guard versus Blue Horrors is a pretty terrible matchup, and we lost a lot of our Blue Horrors, but these were just stopgap units, and they don't matter. The one single consequential loss here was, of course, the one unit of Flamers, and I was pleasantly surprised at how effective the Hekara Horsemen were at killing them. It just, they died so fast. I mean, they are, of course, glass cannons, but still. Obviously, we preserved almost all the elites, which was the goal here, and otherwise the battle was fairly decent. Now, we will not bother healing, I think. I don't think there's much of a point because, well, you heal, yeah, we don't care about healing the blue horrors. They were all going to get replaced by pink horrors anyway, so it's all irrelevant. Now, Qatar, I do have to wonder, would we still be able to attack you if we moved here in a single turn? Actually, kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Like, just, you know what? Let's not risk it. Let's move you out here. That way we guarantee it. Whereas Voljax can keep building pink horrors for Vindex to use. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And you can't go into an encamp stance, unfortunately, but oh well. And we'll get 5 more pink horrors from Kairos, and we'll keep a few of the iridescents as well. Nice. And oh, you know what? Let's build one flamer to replace the flamer that we lost. Although I'm not even entirely sure exactly where we were gonna put that particular unit anymore, considering that we're gonna build these two here for Garrulus, so they're not necessary anymore. Huh. I guess I'll just consider those two a bonus unit. So even that loss then is inconsequential because we weren't gonna trade it to anybody anymore. Oh well. And I mean, oh well in a good way. It's kind of vague. Anyway, ooh, Kairos, you can have the... you know what, let's put it on the infantry. This will give them fire attacks and help everybody out as well while Kairos uses Kindle Flame. We don't have time to fight this battle at the... yeah, there's no time to fight it this episode. There's also... There's also this, which we could start fighting next episode if we want as well, as in to attack these guys, though that would mean declaring war on... We're already at war with Cult of Sotek. Avalorn and Yvresse, they're pretty far away, though it is likely that we will eventually be fighting them. I have to wonder whether Nakari is still alive. I do have to wonder whether it would be beneficial to skip Citadel of Dusk. The only thing that concerns me about this is that they will eventually attack.
I bring Azurian's fire.
And the problem with this army is it has no aerial units, so it wouldn't be good at clearing walls, but nonetheless will most likely attack this anyway. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave that to next time, wherein we attack the elves, wherein Kairos continues his attacks on the desert, and wherein we hopefully shore up this portion of the battlefield, as in Qatar will be gone, and then no Kemrians or Tomb Kings at all will remain over here in the Land of the Dead, essentially, and then we'll just move everybody else to Araby, or otherwise northward. Once again, it's only a matter of time before we start fighting the dwarfs and the orcs. We're already fighting plenty of both, so, you know, that's liable to continue. And then we'll have to figure out where we send Garrulus, though I'm imagining that most likely he'll be just continuing fighting the Bloody Hands and possibly some ogres while he's at it, though his army shouldn't be very good at fighting ogres. That's probably something for Iber to take care of. He should be much, much more effective, especially once we actually, you know, properly give him the, properly give his army the outfitting that it needs with the Doom Knights, Knights, and Chosen... Oh, right, we can't build Knights here either. At least not up here. We'll have to ferry somebody, or have somebody ferry a bunch of Knights over, because we didn't build any Knight buildings up here. I think the closest one should be down here somewhere. But anyway, once again, I digress. Stay tuned for more Kairos. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.